So today's topic is Microsoft Viva and how it helps employee thrive at work. So I only want to ask anyone from Cloud Can to accept new attendees coming, because while I'm sharing the screen, it's really hard to manage the whole meeting. So thank you in advance. And here we are. I'm Anna Pahomo from CloudCan, and today with me is Artem Chernievsky from our IT. Both of us are ex-Microsoft employees with a really strong background of modern work solution, and now we are focused on Viva and want you to go through this nice journey of Microsoft Viva. So let's start from this point. So organization today face the challenge of engaging and empowering an increasingly distributed workforce at home, in the office, and everywhere in between. And so leaders must really reduce the cost and complexity while continuing to invest in employees to meet changing expectations. So, you know, over the last 2 years, there are a lot of changes. Like a lot of people want to work from home, right? Or some of them are really want to participate in the company culture with their ideas. And for sure, being so proactive, like all of us here, participating in this event. So being so proactive, it's under risk of being burning out with your work. And so we have to meet all these challenges, and we have to address all these challenges. So today we want to lead you through the amazing digital journey, and it will follow the natural process how people are getting hired, engaged, and inspired. So let's start from the point where employee begins his or her first day at work. What do we need from employee during this introduction period? First of all, to accomplish all formal steps really quickly, really fast. The second thing is to feel engaged. And the third one is to discover new information in easy way. So all these new terms or acronyms, you know, it's really hard for new employee to get everything in a proper manner. So who can assist him or her with that? Someone who is very experienced, or maybe someone virtual. So let me then introduce Power Virtual Agent. So it is a tool that you can start using without any technical assistance. So first, we will look how it works and then go slightly deeper to discover how to make it working. So again, a Power Virtual Agent, this is a part of Microsoft Teams, which helps together with Microsoft Viva to onboard employee and to go through the other HR tasks more quickly and more interactive. So then I give the floor to Artem.
Thank you, Anna. Let's look how this chatbot can looks like. You can see some examples, so we can send some adaptive cards. They can be very powerful, showing some information, requesting some input from user. But also it can be a very simple chatbots with just question and answers. When you can react with it, you can send some information and everything what you need to work with this bot. This bot can be pinned on the Microsoft Teams chat. And now let's open the Design Studio, which built just inside Microsoft Teams. It's called Power Virtual Agent, for building your own bot. Microsoft promised us that we will need only 5 minutes and no code to work with it. Let's check it. So right now we are creating a chatbot and choosing a Teams team where the information of our chatbot would be situated. All members of these teams would be able to work with chatbot without any assisting of IT department. But if you want later to publish the chatbot for overall your company, so just check with IT. They can share this chatbot and publish it for everyone. Okay, we have started. Now we are going to the chatbot tab. So you could see that I have a lot of different chatbots which were built before. But right now, let's go to our Viva IP project and create a new chatbot. We are low-code developers, so we are business users, usually HR department, finance department, without special IT behavior can do this chatbot. We just have to name it. For example, it will be a well-being bot, which will help our employees to understand how to manage their time, reduce organizational burnout. So we're choosing the language. It's not so important because language influence only for sample content, which will be built in a chatbot. For example, greetings, some such as hi, hello, and anything else. Later, you can switch this chatbot to different language. Even it can automatically check the language of input and use it. Okay, everything is ready. Microsoft made for us all database processes. We don't care about this. We can just use the chatbot. Let's test it and see the sample content which built in. I'm saying hi. So the chatbot open answering with the predefined content. I can ask some questions, give me variants. I can work with them. So it's available and it's easy. Okay, let's customize the chatbot topics by our needs. I'm going to the system topic. It's called greetings, where we have a lot of different greetings. You can modify them. And I just want to add an action. And the section is asking a question for chatbot. For example, how are you? This is the starting point for our well-being chatbot, just to understand what's the mood of our employee today to give him some advices. For example, he can say good, or he can say not good, or give other variants. For example, good and not so good. It's interesting that when we are giving choice to our users, you can see some branches. This is the logic of our chatbot. If you say not so good, we will say great. It's nonsense. It's a joke. Yes, of course, it's not great if it's not so good, but let's check it. So I am saving my chatbot and now going to the testing. Let's check what's behavior, what has changed. I'm just saying hi. And right now he would start not speaking the sample content, but asking how are you today? I can say good. Then to go to the standard content, or I can give other answer just to check how our branching is working, how logical of our chatbot is working. You can see. So if not so good, he say great. So it's our joke. I can check the logic of the chatbot just in the business ham where it's showing which topic is working right now. Okay, it was very simple, just like hello, what we can do else. Of course, you have a lot of questions for your chatbot, and it would be rather difficult to input them manually. Right now, I'm just taking the article from Microsoft regarding well-being. This article is published in Microsoft Cloud Blogs and giving to chatbot the link to this page. Using artificial intelligence and content analysis, it can understand this page, extract the questions, extract the answers, and suggest for me topics. So it has suggested 12 topics by himself, asking everything for what I need. For example, flexible working. Now you can see that it's automatically generated topic, the question, the message, pretty easy. I can just add it, and it will be in my chatbot. So just be aware about copyrights of different websites and Excel documents and everything else what we're using for populating your database. Here I can change my extra starting trigger phrase, of course, without numbers, so modify this topic as I want. And let's check it. Okay, so I'm going to topics list. By default, it's turned off. So I have to turn it on. Yep, turn it on. And now it will work. Going to test. Say hi again. We can just ask flexible working right now, and you can see that all our content with extra links will be provided. And the chatbot asks us how we were satisfied with work with this. This information will be in analytics tabs later. And now our chatbot is ready and we want to publish it. So we are publishing, as I mentioned before, if you want to publish it just for your colleagues in your team's team, no problem, you can do it by yourself. But if you want to publish it for overall company, you have to check it, this option with your IT guys. So it's going publishing. Now it's published. By the way, if you think that it's too fast, so don't be afraid. We will give you all technical demos later. So the session is recording, and you can just repeat all the steps that I was presenting on the session later by yourself if you need. Okay, now we are adding our virtual agent chatbot, and now some minutes for Microsoft. A second. Publishing is going. I see that I'm doing something with video. Maybe it stopped by some reason. Let's look. I think it should go further.
May
Oh,
I, on this, from this point, ask you, is it possible to create all this stuff just being an HR professional?
Yep, sure. It's intended for HR professionals, not intended for IT professionals. But let's look at the demo future. So we are working with chatbot inside our Microsoft Teams. Yep, it's working, so everything is good. And let me show you how you can pin and unpin this chatbot, so everyone in your company can find it easy. And also, let me show you one more interesting behavior, because we are not speaking about just question and answer chatbot. Chatbot can provide a lot of different tasks. We can help you, for example, publish some information in Excel file or working with artificial intelligence. For this, we are not asking question, we are just call an action. There are a lot of templates of these actions. So you work with Excel, with adaptive cards, with planner tasks, with everything what you need. But also, let's start from the scratch. So this is our chatbot, our virtual agent. This is the flow. This is the actions. What is doing by chatbot. We will rename it to a sentiment analyze. We will try to understand the uh, emotions of the users. And here we add action. Here we can connect to Microsoft Azure Cognitive Services with using Cognitive Services. So it's built in. And as a Lego constructor, we are just choosing what we need. For example, we need sentiment analyze. So I'm just connecting to my Azure Active Directory. Nothing special. Now, this flow will take from the chatbot the input. So it will take the information which were provided by the user, send indicate to Microsoft Azure to machine learning model to understand is it passive or natural or aggressive or anything else, and then return value to the chatbot. Okay. So it's pretty easy. Now we just add an expression because we want to select first element in the row. And we can change, choose actions from previous steps to work with chatbot. Once again, it can seem just a bit difficult right now, but what we were to show on this demonstration that just for 10 minutes, you can build your own chatbot without any programming, without any access to global administrative tenant, without IT support. So each one from HR, from finance, from legal department, each business user can provide this chatbot, which will reduce its redundant task and help you to focus on the interesting things which you can do. So it's ready. We can just save the chatbot, it's saving, and it's ready to use. Now it will take the input from our user for proceeding to Azure Speech cognitive services, and we'll work with it. Okay. So we are using this predefined flow in our bot. So I'm just adding the question. I will call it question. The output of this question, so the response from the user, will be collected in special variable. I will call it input just for me. Yes, and now I am adding this action, power automate action. So I call an action. We can see AI sentiment analysis. We have done it just a few minutes ago. And I'm using the variable input, just an input for this question. And output of this action, so it will be neutral, or it will be passive or aggressive, anything else, I will send as a message to the user. So it's is what you are speaking to it, and it will give you the answer, what is the intent of your speech. So pretty easy. Don't be afraid. Maybe in the first time it looks just a bit difficult, but really not. It's fast, doesn't require any coding, and available for each user. Anna, the stage is completely yours. Anna, can you hear me? I online?
Yeah, I can hear you. I actually was on mute, so I have another question. So, are there any other examples of using this chatbot for HR processes? How about requesting some documents from HR? Could it be used for this routine work as well?
Yep. From our perspective, we built, I think, hundreds of chatbots for the last 5 years, and you can take any your redundant task. Just think about the most annoying thing, what you hate in your work. Then you can convert this for the chatbot, and chatbot will work on different languages. It will work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it's really useful. And of course, chatbot can ask a human assistant if some difficult questions, and all the questions from the users are used for improving the behavior of chatbot. So the more you use, the better chatbot will help to answer the questions. Yes, that's some really good technology can change your behavior and can help you to focus on really interesting tasks, not just resending some information.
Oh, perfect. So I love that. If you hate some work, so you can just delegate it to a Power Virtual Agent.
Exactly.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you, Artyom, with that. So let me move to another slide. So, well, now we have employee onboarded and motivated, but we need to maintain it, right? And according to some research, only 15% of employees of global workforce feel engaged at work, and only 28% of employees understand the company strategy, right? So Artyom, are you sure you understand the company strategy?
I'm so shy to say it, but as I'm a director of our IT Academy, I am writing the company strategy. So I suppose that,
Okay,
yes, I hope that I understand
okay,
it.
I'm
At
joking.
least I'm the creator of it.
Okay, I'm joking, but there where Viva connection comes in. So this is a kind of gateway to employee experience, and it brings together news, announcement, conversation, apps, tasks, or whatever, and everything in a single destination. So people never have to leave the hub for teamwork. So the experience reflects your organization because you can brand it with your name, icon, colors, and what is really important, it's personalized for each employee. Because for IT, some topics could be more meaningful than for HR, for example. And for frontline workers, there are more demanded content rather than informational workers for. So, and because artificial intelligence delivers feeds of relevant content, information, and resources. So the organization can also tailor the experience for target employees group. That's what I mentioned before, like frontline workers or people in specific regions or roles. And you can add any custom components that enrich your employee experience using no-code configuration or powerful developer framework as you wish. And for sure, you can integrate investment you've already made in partner solution like Workday or ServiceNow. And best of all, Viva Connection and its experiences leverage the investment you've already made in Microsoft 365, including SharePoint, Yammer, Stream, and Teams. So again, I have to switch to demo in order to give you this flavor of what is Viva Connection about. Artem,
Thank
stage is
you,
yours.
Anna. And we are back to the boring technical reality. So let's look on Vivo Connections. In few words, it's just your corporate portal inside Microsoft Teams. So right now, Microsoft Teams is really one point for internal communications. You can see it on desktop and also on mobile phone. You can see that I'm working with my Microsoft Teams app on mobile phone, and I can just easily add Vivo Connections information and all other adaptive cards which were developed for Vivo Connections. We will look later how to do this adaptive cards. It's really fun. Uh, Also, on Vivo Connections, you can work with corporate news. So right now, you can work with your SharePoint internet portal inside mobile phone, and you don't need to develop special mobile app. It was really a mess because for years, customers have to do their own mobile phone application as SharePoint Online wasn't very well featured. Okay, return to our desktop experience. As usual, corporate portal is just a constructor. You can do any new sections, you add any content, just choosing from the template. So no coding behavior, no understanding what is HTML, CSS, and other boring things. Just choose one of the predefined content, and you can post tweeters, you can post analytics, you can post weather information, and everything else. But okay, let's go to the adaptive cards. I have mentioned them before. They're especially useful for interacting, not just for reading news, but to do something interesting. For example, some special app for our new employees. Okay. So we have connection adaptive cards built in the main page. You can see it. We can go to see all the cards. It can be many of them resolving some small business tasks. And we can show going to edit mode, and we can see how they would like on the mobile phone, the option to switch, and going to desktop application. And here we can just add a card. We can change the order of the card. Let's do our own adaptive card. We will use card designer, but first let's look that there are a lot of predefined cards such as tasks, Vivo Learning, and other. Now we are going to modify our first adaptive card. We can change from one of three layouts, for example, that description or heading, or maybe with the picture. With the picture, always better. So let's do it. So we can change card size. We can change the title of the card. We can even change the icon of the card from your own picture or choose from one from the defaults. Okay, then we can change heading to write something. For example, it will be the card for booking flight because right now we can fly it. It's good. No COVID, I suppose. So it's very positive card because we are believing in future. Okay, then we can add some picture just for our card to be nice and very well looking. Yep, it's ready. But of course, we are not just about design. The most interesting part, the actions, how we can do this card to show some useful information. Okay, let's start work with the button. I will rename this button to book. And now let's see which actions we can use working with this card. We can go to some web link, open Teams app, play some media file, select location from the web, but also we can use quick view. The things becomes boring because it's JSON, but don't be afraid. We have Adaptive Card Designer free tool from Microsoft, which can help you to do your own cards without any programming experience. So we are just switching to Viva connections, and now we can see how our cards would how it would be in Viva connections. We can add any elements just in PowerPoint, as in PowerPoint, just move, drag and going to the information from this option. For example, for this media control, just post a URL to the YouTube video and you can work with it. And even better, we can go to samples. There are a lot of samples which are very useful because they are giving you the ideas of using adaptive cards in your business. And also we can see how this card can be done. I will take one of them, not expense report, but I think that something regarding the flight. Yeah, for example, this one, flight details. Yeah, I can see how it would look like. And I just copy the JSON code provided for me and post it in appropriate part of View Adaptive Card Connections. That's my favorite type of programming. Just copy and paste and repeat the same action with template part. Okay, that's all. The card using audience, so you can say that, for example, some cards are shown only for IT department, some cards are showing just for people managers, but for our short demo, it's not so important. We can just publish this card. Yep, it's working, and right now it will show our book flight information, so on. So pretty fast, without again any IT assistant, we can extend the information on our portal, a lot of useful information, and so on. And by the way, this is still our familiar SharePoint Online. I can go just to SharePoint Online, and here I can see all options of SharePoint, even working with modern metaverse. So you can see that I'm not sure that you were aware about this, but you can look the information inside your SharePoint with VR Garniture. So this information is available through the helmet. If you want, you can see that I can just look any documents which is located in my SharePoint library, to open with them, work with them, and it's very fun and it's useful for improving well-being, for launch of some new products. So please try to do what you want and be a creator and turn on your imagination. Viva Connection, SharePoint Online, Adaptive Cards gives a lot of opportunity to express yourself and to reduce redundant tasks. Uh, okay, I hope it was not so boring. Once again, if you want to repeat, you have this on records, so no problem. Anna, stage is yours.
Yeah, it's not boring at all, for sure. It's a good to have this flying dog for well-being. So, what do you think for those who have a old-fashioned SharePoint, like maybe on-premise one? Should we pick up something from the old portal or to create everything from the scratch?
It's different. So I would recommend you to speak with some technical architecture from CloudCAN, for example, because there are a lot of difficulties on this way, but in any way, we have only 2 years of maintenance from Microsoft for SharePoint on-prem, so we have to plan somehow moving to the cloud solutions. So I wouldn't say that it would be easy. Please consult with professionals, but it's possible, and we help a lot of our customers to do it. So it's amazing. And of course, SharePoint on-prem doesn't have such modern features as Viva connections, as metaverse and everything else. So you should do.
Okay, amazing. So now it's a green light to move to their Viva connection right now from your old-fashioned SharePoint. All right, so there is actually something more that we get from our employees. So they don't want just to look at some company's information, right? So they want to participate, they want to be engaged, they want to bring their ideas on the table. So, and especially what we are struggling right now, it's a lack of information coming from our C-level people, from our leadership team. And it's why a lot of employees are just not having the company strategy at all. And it's very important to get this engagement with the leadership, as well as to make sure that your voice as employee is really heard. That's a really important. This is a part of belonging at work. And so therefore, Microsoft is going further and serving not only Viva Connection, but another application which called Viva Engage. So, in the past, many companies relied on annual engagement surveys to understand how work was taking place. So, but now we want not to have this, once a month survey. We want to be in communication with our employees every day. And so that's where Viva Engage comes in. And now again, as we promised, we move to demo.
Uh, Thank you, Anna. As usual, we are starting Vivo Engage just from the Teams. It's free application and turned on by default. Here we can work with our communities and new storylines. So you can see a lot of communities just inside your teams. For example, for sales team, for HR teams, discussing anything. Let's discuss well-being as a new modern topic. For example, we will do well-being community and we add description and add some participants for this community. I'm adding Nikita and Mila. And then we can share the options how people can join this community only by request if it's something secure, or just if they want. Of course, for this community, just by the option. We will set up this community for you. Be very easy, just as video connections. So just change the photos, just change the behaviors, pin some useful links, or anything else. Yeah, you can post any news, share your feelings or technical information, files, to start some polls, to make some feedback to prize some people for their work and their input into community. For example, we will start to discuss team building activity. Usually, it's very popular topic. We can mention some special people and we can share this information regarding this option, add some polls, some questions, discussions. Pretty easy. Just try to start to work with it, and you can see a lot of options. Also, you can add topics. This is special um, something like a tag size, I would say, which can help you to find the information in all many communities which will be done inside your company and it will improve your corporate life. Okay, so we have done team build topic. Okay, now we are sharing this information to private message or to storyline. Storyline, this is something like your personal social network where you can share everything not regarding by community but regarding by yourself. So I recommend you to enable preview features for storylines because it's pretty new option for View Engage, and with preview features you can see much more. For example, this is my storyline. Maybe you would be just a bit surprised that in my storyline we cannot see right now the announcement which I have done regarding TeamView. That's because in your storyline showing only that information which is relevant for you. Yes, and by default it's strange, yes, because you are sharing something storyline, so you're aware about this content, and by default you cannot see it. So just go back to storyline and switch the view from feed to following. And here you can see all the posts, all the IDs which intend to your storylines. Also, you can see notifications. So if someone follow you, mention you just in social network as in LinkedIn or Facebook, you can work with it. Okay. Also, there is a networks option. Right now, I have only one network, but we can add organizational network functionality and one back to filtering from default to all. And yes, now in my storyline, I can see that I have started new community discussion regarding team building and share it to my storyline with good idea. So yeah, internal social network for free, it's good. Also, you can add this with engagement experience in Microsoft Teams tab, just using the topic, the tag, which we have done before. So, for example, this is our team build tag. So I'm switching from community to topic, the font one, and save it. So now all information regarding team build posted in different communities will be shown on your Microsoft Teams tab for access, and you can work with it. And it's pretty easy, and the Teams becomes really one entry point for overall internal communications. That's all. Anna, the stage is yours.
Right, Artem, do you think leadership team should use Viva Engage to, to write in the storyline or to publish their stories? Is it a good approach for the company?
It's very difficult each time when we say that leadership team should do something because they could, they may, it would be useful, but we cannot force them that to top management. But of course, for working um, for providing direct information through the top level team to the individual contributor, it's really important. It becomes our company much more flat because we don't using the broken phone to say to something to manager says to his team and so on. So yes, it really is important for working with senior leadership team, combining with, for example, all hands events provided with Teams Live event. Yeah, sure. Very
Okay.
good approach.
Okay, good. So just to summarize that Viva Engage really gives the leaders a new way to shape the culture of their organization by unlocking communication and engagement opportunities for everyone. And in terms of technology, built on foundation of Yammer, and Viva Engage brings people together across the organization to connect actually all leaders, co-workers, and find some answers to the question, and maybe share their unique story and find belonging at work. All right. So this is how we are actually working, right? So we are pretty motivated to do a lot, but in some cases we really get burning out. And so, as I mentioned before, many companies relied on annual or quarterly engagement survey to understand how work was taking place. And over time, those surveys became more frequent. Maybe monthly or even targeted pulse surveys conducted, every 2 weeks. For sure, surveys are essential, but they don't depict the complete picture. So what companies are increasingly realizing is that they need to complement these annual engagement surveys with the other signals to understand employee sentiment, right? So here we are coming with a Viva Insight. It really gives company a way of seeing a more complete picture through the direct and indirect employee signals. It uses a kind of passive behavioral data based on everyday work in Microsoft 365 to help organizations see what is working well and what could be improved, so they can make change day to day. So you can combine this information with organizational context and other relevant data, such as employee engagement scores or sales performance or their business outcomes, to better understand their organizational work patterns that lead to the outcomes you care about. So that you can replicate this success across the whole organization. Just to make it really easy, so together with Artyom, we had a project where we are trying to understand who using instant messengers more often. People the age between 20 and 30, or between 30 and 50. And it's interesting. It's also interesting to know who is working after hours, who is working flexible hours, who is doing their work, during the weekend. And it's really very important to predict in order to keep your employee within the company. So, Artyom, could you please demonstrate how it works?
Yep, sure. I do love numbers, and it's important. Let's start from the beginning, from Viva personal insights and available for each employee. It sends you these letters regarding what you can forget, what some business advice, and so on. There are a lot of different built-in instruments. For example, the reflection history, teamwork habits, a lot of things for even meditations and some praise history. You can send some feedback to your colleagues, of course, only positive feedbacks and something like this. So that's personal insights, a lot of very useful things to improve your employee, to support them even in hybrid or distance working. There is a special option to working with your team, so you can see some ideas regarding, for example, schedule meeting or protect some time, book some focus time for do some work. Now, pretty new option to receive the meeting effectiveness surveys. If you have meeting with 5 or more employees, they will be asked, was it the meeting useful? And you can use it feedback to understand how it's work. Even more, you can change your quiet hours to see after work everything else. I'm going very fast because I just want to give you the overall idea that all your digital footprints, all your working with the computer, this is the point to analytic, which can help you as your personal time manager. We can deep dive to my analytics. Maybe you're familiar with this tool. Now it's going to Vivo personal sites, but some of really good options are available here too. For example, you can see well-being, and you can see your network. You can understand how is your time split and what's your team and for which person you spend many times, many communications, so on. You can start some well-being plans, for example, to improve your team behavior and change some bad intent to receive some good habits to work on this. For companies, we can go to Workplace Analytics. This is a paid license. You need Viva Advanced Insight license for this. But there are much more information when you can start some analytics. So you can go to the overall database, which collect all information regarding your interaction with teams. There you can, for example, make sales efficiency, understand are your salespersons working with the top priority opportunities and spend time on them and so on. But let's check the meeting culture. I'm starting standard meeting query. And here I can access my database, finding the questions which I want to check, for example, number of attendance, do they multitask, or for example, did they say emails during the meetings? Is it good? Of course not. Yes, and we can set up some filters, for example, exclude some top-level employees or some first-line workers from this analytics tool for increasing the accuracy of it. And we can add many information from our HR management system. For example, hire date. We can split the options for our employees who are working many years with our company or not, and even with the age, as Anna mentioned in the previous example. So we are set up in this query as business analytics and change it. We can set up after refresh for this query. So if, for example, it will be on schedule each month and give us the idea what is happening, how it's managed, and so on. The results of this query you can open in Power BI. You can see right now in special visual reports. Visual reports are available not for all queries, but for some of them they are, and they are good. And by the way, here on the visual report, we can see the very important point of privacy, of protecting personal data. Viva Insight cannot be used for micromanagement. You never can have information regarding one employee. Only group of employees, for example, 10 of them, even with some random data added to exclude the option to understand what is the behavior of the some person. We understanding the behavior of all our company teams, and we make some big plans. For example, some special trainings or something else, but for all companies, special communications, not for managing one by one person. Okay, regarding plans, how we can improve, there are a lot of built-in plans. For example, seller success plan or well-being plan. We can start it. We can change the audience, choose the audience, for example, our sales team, and then this weekly mails from Vivo Insights will be focused special on this point. For example, work with your top priority deals. Yes, and it can be done, and then we can monitor is it good or is not good. Some of our customers say that this standard Microsoft interface is too boring for them, a lot of uh, different fields. So they ask us to do our special solution Power BI report. Here we have some our own analytic. For example, we can manage occupational burnout. We can see all information regarding meetings, management, and work-life balance. So we are using Viva Advanced Insights as the source of data and make a well-looking and useful information for you. Even more, we can add machine learning predictive model. Now I can turn it on, for example, so we can not only analyze what is happening right now, but based on the historical data, make some accurate prognosis what will be later. Now, for example, regarding turnover of your company and so on. So it's a really big point. If you are interested, please contact Anna, contact me. We will set up a special new demo for you. But the main idea is that working with computer, we have a lot of options to analyze what is happening with our employees and make some data-driven access to common HR practices. Anna, stage
Yeah,
is
I also have a
yours.
yeah, thank you. I also have another question as after every topic. So does the Viva Insight bring any informational in the flow of work? So for example, why you are doing email? So can Viva Insight be somehow integrated in your email process? Like if you
Yeah,
are writing your email.
yeah. Um, email consists of two parts, the body of the message and something is called as metadata. For example, this is subject, this is participants, date when it's sent, and so on. The metadata can be accessed with Viva Advanced Insights. So, for example, we can set up a very special query, all meetings regarding our OKR system. Let's check do our employees do multitasking or do they write emails during these meetings or not? Sometimes it helps us to justify for customer the useless of some very big regular meetings because we can just show that on these meetings people do nothing, they do not listen. So please break it or change the content of it, make something interesting for the people. So yes, it can work with email system and can analyze it and can analyze metadata, and that's why we can get very accurate progress. It's even about one special business process or business project inside your company.
Wow, amazing. As I had heard, it also could be integrated with their third-party application like Zoom, for example. So it's not only analyzing Microsoft environment, which could be really helpful if you still haven't moved from Zoom to Teams. It could be
Yep.
helpful for you as well.
Sure.
All
If you
right.
have Zoom Premium, it's possible by default. And we as Microsoft partner can integrate with each other platform, for example, Facebook, Meeting Workspace, everything else, because we are using just metadata and we can take the information from Teams and combine it with any other system. For one of our customers, we integrate it with the data from the performance management system. So we have chosen the behavior of successful employee. So how many letters did say when it's his workday starts and so on. So this is a big data. You can add any information from any information source from, for example, pulse surveys, from any analytics. Okay.
Yeah, that is a great example, by the way, when you can match these signals coming from Viva with
Mhm.
a pulse survey result. Because, for example, maybe majority of employees were answering like, we are absolutely happy, but looking at the Viva data, you can figure out that they are working a lot and they're about to burn out, and maybe they are not so much fair answering this pulse survey. So this is important to have a different perspective to look on the whole picture. All right, so we are coming to the kind of summarizing in order to understand what we have in Viva portfolio. So because it's growing every day. So if yesterday I would say that it was only 4 models, so now it's actually 8, or even now it's actually even 9, because one is missing here. So we were covering during our session few models. The first one is the Viva Connection, which brings everything into one place. So we were covering Viva Engage, which is a kind of interactive platform where you can exchange your opinions and be connected to leaders. Viva Amplify has not released yet publicly, but it will be kind of a tool that help your marketing team to communicate to the whole organization. So to make some campaigns and to use different channels to deliver that. We've also covered Viva Insight. That was the last demo. It consists from 2 parts. It's a personal insight, which is included in a basic Microsoft 365 license. But there are also Viva Advanced Insight for organizational leaders, for managers, and for HR to understand the whole picture, what's going on in organization. There are Viva Pulse is upcoming, and these two tools together could really give you a comprehensive view of what's happening in the organization. So Viva Goals is an amazing tool. Unfortunately, we are not covering it during this session, but anytime me and Artyom are happy to demonstrate what is it about, because I would say this is a kind of tool which is not intended to use only within HR. but for any managers that want to reach their goals, it's really useful to have all the team aligned on this journey of reaching these goals. So for the growth, we have two different models. It's Viva Learning. It's also a big topic to cover during such overview session, but feel free to ask us to have a dedicated demo for that. It also a kind of hub for bringing different learning content into the one place with some suggestion with elements of social learning, and therefore it's not a learning management system itself. It's a new approach of social learning when we can leverage any sources you already using in your organization. And the Viva topic, this is a kind of knowledge base, because we all are struggling of a lot of information coming to our minds. So therefore, Viva topic, it's also a kind of artificial intelligence helping us to find the proper information within a short period of time. So there are, again, there are one more model, by the way, it's Viva Sales. It's a bit aside of this stack because it's dedicated for sales department, although most of these models are related to HR. So with that, thank you everyone for joining. I will go back to the meeting and stop sharing my screen in order to see any question if there are some in the chat, or maybe you can also to unmute and ask it, ask me or Artyom. But what I would suggest, since you already invested your time in this webinar, you get this overview of different Viva models. So we are doing a deep dive workshop on each model, and we give you this hands-on experience when you can actually to try your scenarios and to check how it used for your organization. We can also help you with the getting trial licenses, which is not easy. That's not just to get to Microsoft site and pick up it. So we can also support you with this demo environment. And since if you want to go and continue this journey about Viva and want to be ambassador in your organization, we are also helping with these adoption materials to help you to to bring the value of Microsoft Viva into your organization. So with that, let me just
Anna, really, we have one big question in our chat, and participant asked to show a Viva Learning demo. We have prepared this demo before, so if you don't mind, I can share it from my laptop, or you can share it. Just
okay.
as it.
Yeah, feel free. Yeah, feel free to
then I will need some rights because I'm now participant and I can share my screen.
Okay, let me check if I can promote you as a presenter. Okay, here you are, and you are a presenter.
Oh, thank you. Yep, you. I can do it. Okay, I will share my screen. I think. Give me a second. I will just launch the video and share on my screen. Yep, right there. Going to share a screen. Yep. Can you see my screen right now?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. So let's deep dive very fast in Viva Learning. It will be interesting because I will show you not only basic but also advanced features. So the main idea of using Viva Learning is managing it just right inside your Microsoft Teams team. For example, I'm doing Teams adoption for a adoption project, for example, just to learn our employees how to work with Microsoft Teams. So let's it will be fun team. So yeah, I just doing this team, and now I want to representing this team my learning materials regarding Microsoft Teams. I will add some participants, but of course it's taking time usually because you have to find these materials, maybe record them, and it's really big project. But for using Viva Learning, we just add members, owners of this team, combining all the peoples together, which have to be educated. And now we are going to Teams tab, and here we can add Viva Learning pretty fast, just in few minutes. It's really good for any project, for any very fast education when we need it just in a few minutes. Here in Viva Learning, we can add our own content. It will be from the SharePoint site, and it can be a lot of information, or we can search course catalog. Our own content can be doc, Word, PowerPoint, any movie, anything else. More types of the learning content will come. For example, SCORM format is announced. But the most interesting point is that we can connect to external course catalog and just ask what we need. For example, right now I want to train my employees regarding Microsoft Teams. I'm going to Teams and I see a lot of predefined courses and LinkedIn in Microsoft Learn, Microsoft 365 trainings, things like that. I'm just checking the content and choosing which one of them is best for my employees, and then just click save when it's okay. Or I just see anything. And now in Teams, I have special tab. In this tab, there are a lot of trainings. Of course, I can remain in this tab. For example, just say training. So each new employee, each new participant of my project just can go to training tab and to see all information what they need. We will see the information regarding how many times the content will view it. We can bookmark, we can add it to our calendar, we can look for similar courses, and even more, we can share this or recommend this course to someone else. For example, I will recommend this course to Nikita, add some notes, and set up delivery date when he should to pass this training. Okay, I have done it. If I want to see overall training page, I can go to Viva Learning. There I will see the information regarding all the courses across all teams in which I participate. There is some recommendation panes in the top of the screen, and there are a lot of courses which are recommended to me by Viva Learning. These courses are taken from external sources based on my interests, and I can change the providers. For example, LinkedIn Learning, Microsoft Certified Training, Microsoft Learn, and other training providers. We will speak about them later. Even more, I can sort them for duration. For example, if I want to learn project management in 5 minutes, it's possible. So I should choose my interest as project management and set duration for courses less than 10 minutes. So yes, we can do it. Not only technical topics, even regarding HR, everything else. Okay, let's go into my learning portal. Here we can see the trainings which were recommended to me, were recently viewed by me. And here I can see all the trainings that I recommend to someone. For example, this training that I just have recommended to Nikita, I can see that it isn't yet completed, of course. Here I can manage providers. Now this is the providers by default. And here I can set up some recommendations. What is recommended trainings in feature set? For example, as these trainings will be mentioned in the top of our learning portal, just some ideas for them. Okay, here I can as I'm administrator of Viva Learning Portal, I can connect this portal to my LinkedIn Learning Premium to get access to more courses. But also, as I IT guy, now I can go to the settings. And on settings, I can set up much more information regarding Viva Learning. I'm going to Viva Learning option. Yep, here it is. And here we can add much more course providers. All of the top course providers are there. Cornerstone, Coursera, EduX, Infopulse, Pluralsight, Success Factor, Udemy, everything. And you can also provide other connect other content providers using an open API interface. So it's really good. So just one search inside Viva Learning give you the relevant courses overall training providers you can use. Also, you can see the usage statistics, for example, regarding Viva Learning here by default. So you can see how much active users you have right now. That's our demo tenant, so not so much users in our real tenant. Of course, it will be much more. And you can see different options. For example, how many teams tab, how many lessons were learned, viewed, and so on. So that's overall demo of Microsoft Viva Learning. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your question. If you have more deep dive question, you can ask me in chat or ask Anna or me later, and we will help you because we were working with this solution from our beginning. Even when it wasn't in general availability, we worked together with Microsoft to develop the solution and to bring really new experience of learning, long life learning, when you just in few minutes want to receive training content and assign it to your uh, teams, to your team without going to HR department and submitting some learning plan for a year. Okay.
Okay, guys, any other question?
I suppose that's all.
Yeah, okay, guys, we're just saving some time for you for having, maybe lunch or just a coffee. So feel free to respond to one more poll. I love polls in Microsoft Teams. So feel free to reach out me and Artyom either on LinkedIn, or you can just once you get this presentation, you will get a contact. So feel free also to reach out email as well.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you for invitation to this meeting. Thank you for answers, for questions. Yeah, it was really fun. We do love Vivo products, and I hope that all of us will have very interesting project, and even more, we will have satisfied workers, satisfied employees who can go home just in time and feel free and go to the work with the intent to see something good and to invent something good. So see you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, we will share a webinar recording as well with you, so you can enjoy it one more time. Thank you.
Bye.
Have a nice day.